What's up, YouTube? This is Chris Albert here. I've been on for a little while, taking little vacations here at the end of the summer, trying to enjoy myself before that cold Southern California chill comes in. Yeah, I'm from Connecticut, so one of the reasons why I moved the fuck out here is so I can avoid the cold. But you know what? It does get cold here sometimes for those of you in the rest of the country. It's not face-numbing cold like I used to have to deal with, but it gets pretty cold. One of the things I run into as a nutrition coach and trainer is dealing with a lot of kind of dogma that's out there. Now, we get a lot of people who follow different personalities and different types of people, and of course, human nature being what it is, we get rounded up into a group and we want to rah rah rah, support whoever's flag, we identify with. So you have if it fits your macros guys, the intermittent fasting guys, you have the paleo diet guys, and things like that. I'm not a dogmatic person. I've used different versions of all of those diets in my coaching and with my clients and with myself. And what I have to tell all of you is that there's one major mistake that I think everybody makes. It's that they get so wrapped up in what they read. They get so wrapped up in understanding the scientific literature. And I'm not saying that it's wrong to do that. I want you guys to do your research. I believe that combining science with what we experience in the gym is the best way of getting what we want, the physiques that we want. But there's something to be said for experimenting on yourself, right? And not holding to some crazy dogma and saying, oh, wait, you know what, that's not paleo, so I'm not going to eat it. Or, oh, you know what, Matt Ogus said I can go eat Chipotle, so I'm going to go eat Chipotle. This is the thing. I developed everything that I know off of experience, dealing with myself. And having scientific training has helped me because it helped me understand what an experiment is and what makes an experiment determinate and indeterminate. What do I mean by that? Well, you have a variable, an independent variable, that you think is the cause of the result you want, which is your dependent variable. So your dependent variable varies up and down, and is, some theory says that as your independent variable moves up and down, your dependent variable moves up and down, right? Well, for example, the more protein I eat, the more muscle I will gain from my workouts, right? That's a simple hypothesis. When we're thinking about our diets and our nutrition plans, what we need to think about is creating hypotheses for ourselves. Okay, so what do we do wrong here? Well, I get people who are like, well, dude, I'm on this supplement, that supplement, that supplement, that supplement. I tried 5-3-1 last week for my training, and this week I'm going to do blood volume training, and then next week I'm going to try the overtraining method. What you need to be doing is sticking with one thing at a time, because if not, if you're varying all kinds of different things, you don't know what's causing what. No one can tell what's causing what because you don't know what variable manipulation is actually causing the result. So if you change your workouts and you change your diet and you change like 50 different things in your diet, you have no idea what's actually going to cause a positive or negative result for your workouts or for your training or for what you look like. So my advice is, one, pick one routine. Stick with it for 3 months. Figure out what you're going to be able to do. Not a routine, but a program. That means you're following a set paradigm of ideas in your training. Stick with it for at least 3 months, especially if you're natural. If you're natural, you're not going to see quick results. They're not going to happen overnight. 2, if you're on a diet, wait. at least 2 or 3, 4 weeks before you decide that that diet is bunk and need to be tossed out. Everybody who I coach wants adjustments, and I say to them, you got to be patient. These things don't just happen overnight. So at the end of the day, when we're fucking looking at ourselves in the mirrors constantly, when we're stepping on the scale every day, we're wasting fucking energy. Take your pictures every 2 weeks. Chronicle everything that you're doing. Write it down. Whatever you change, be sure of what you're changing. Change one thing at a time, and then chronicle how things change after that. That, my friends, is the scientific method. You do not know what is happening if you're changing tons of different things at one time. That, when you're doing that, that is bro science, or whatever you want to call it. But that's just my lesson that I learned from having a scientific background. If you guys have any questions at all, hit me up at gettingshredded@gmail.com. This is how I run my programs. If you're thinking about becoming an online client, hit me up. My rates are cheaper, about half as cheap as you would be paying for a one-on-one training, a group of one-on-one training sessions for a month. So check me out. Also check me out on Instagram. I'm getting to the number 2 shredded. And as always, if you like my content, please subscribe to this channel. Talk to y'all later.